welcome back. Are you feeling overwhelmed by tantrums, sleep struggles, or potty training challenges? Yes? Well, that means you are a parent to a toddler. It is truly a unique time in life, but our next guest says it doesn't have to be terrible at all. Welcome now to ICF-Certified Coach and author of Transforming Toddlerhood, Devon Kuntzman. Welcome to Great Day, Washington.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I truly did lose my voice from 4 toddler birthday parties this weekend, so this is quite appropriate. You're saying it doesn't have to be terrible. That we always hear about the terrible twos. This is a hard time. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, you know, toddlers have a bad reputation, right? It is challenging. We know that this is a very challenging developmental period, but at the same time, when we call it terrible, it makes parenting so much harder. So I like to say it's challenging, yet it's critical, because we're setting the foundation for the rest of a child's life right now, and how we respond to the behaviors that we label as bad, which are usually developmentally appropriate, really lays the groundwork for your child's emotional resilience and well-being later.
That is the pressure right now, because I know however you react, though, you give in the one time or whatever, and now my son's like, oh, now she'll give in if I cried this much, right?
Yeah, I mean, toddlers are
on top of it.
Right, they're wired. They're wired to test these boundaries. This is what they do because they're learning about the world for the very first time.
But it is appropriate. It's appropriate for their age to have these tantrums. We should accept that as part of this growth period.
Yeah, we really need to. The thing is that toddlers are lacking brain maturation. They don't have a lot of life experience and skills, and they don't have a lot of verbal skills. So you put all of that together, and that's why we see these big behaviors that through our adult lens, we're like, these are not appropriate at all. But for a toddler, all behavior is communication. They use their behavior to communicate with us. And so once we understand that, we can start to see that no isn't defiance, but it's them trying to be their own person. Or that a tantrum is, you know, not them being manipulative, but it's them having a hard time coping.
Yeah, my son was screaming water the last 2 days going into daycare. And I thought he wanted to do water play, which they do, but I think he actually meant his water bottle in the car. But how frustrating for him that he can't tell me what he's actually meaning when you go in. Okay, so there are times when you need to discipline effectively, but what if you don't want to do bribes or give in or do the wrong things? How do you get the message across? What's the best way?
Yeah, well, what's challenging is that we often confuse discipline with punishment, but really discipline is about teaching. And what do we want to teach? We want to teach emotional and behavior regulation skills. So instead of asking ourselves, what punishment does my child need for this behavior? We want to say, what skill does my child need to learn to be successful here? So I like to use what I call the recipe for effective discipline, which is creating connection, setting limits and following through, and teaching skills. And when you have all the ingredients of the recipe and use those together, then you're going to help your child learn the skills that they need to be successful in these moments.
Does this include things like timeout or taking toys, or are those like things that were in the past now?
In the past. I mean, the thing is that when you send a child a timeout, what they're learning is, I'm being excluded from this, but they're not learning how to do better next time. So oftentimes we're punishing children for having developmentally appropriate behavior when really we need to teach them a better way to respond. So that's why, you know, if a child, say they're playing the dog's water dish and water is going everywhere, instead of saying, you're being so bad, go to timeout, what we want to say is like, oh, looks like you want to play with water, and this water needs to stay in the bowl. How can we play with water? Let's go outside, let's take a bath, let's wash the dishes. So you find a way to meet their developmental need within your boundaries.
And then you also stay calm through it all. I know you have tips on all of that. You have a new book out. There's so much more that we can learn from you. You can actually pre-order Devon's new book. It is called Transforming Toddlerhood. You can pre-order it now on Amazon. And thank you so much for all the tips today. Great to meet you.
Thank you.